Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Nurdiana Hani Mediasuna, metric number 288096. Will be presenting about the background for our project. ANN Club and Beauty Spa Payroll System is an application that represents a simple payroll system that can calculate and display the total net salary for employees. This application is very beneficial to the club in terms of efficiency as the number of employees will increase. Thus, this causes the storage of a lot of data that would otherwise need an abundance of paperwork for the management department of the club. This program calculates the total earnings and deductions based on employees' information input, which are hours worked, hours rate, total sales, employee type, and medical plan type.
In achieving the goal of this project, which is to display the payroll system and to know the employee's net salary of Unclub Beauty Spa, then there are several steps that need to be followed by user, which start with click the button of add employee first and need to fill in the data of the employee as follows. The first step a users need to do is enter the employee's name. There is a blank box or text field accompanied by an employee name statement next to it, which requires the users to fill in the box with the name of the employees who wants to see his or her payroll system. After entering the employee's name, the users need to follow the second step, which is to include the employee's ID number. This is attempt to make it easier to identify the employee, where this ID number is a very helpful additional information. However, keep in mind that the ID number entered by user cannot exceed and must consist of 4 digits. Therefore, users must be careful in entering the ID number in order to achieve the purpose. The next step is done in order to achieve the goal of knowing the total earnings earned by employees, where the total earnings consists of basic salary and also commission successfully earned by the employees. Therefore, with the data of hour work and hourly rate, the application system can calculate the basic salary of workers. In a way, the number of hours worked will be multiplied by the hourly rate. Therefore, this step must be filled in by the user in the box field provided. Commissions are also one of the requirements to know the total earnings. Then, users need to include the total sales. These total sales are related to these commissions, where there is a percentage deduction from the range of the sales volume. If employees get total sales ranging from 1,500 to 3,000, then the commissions earned are as much as 5% of the sales volumes. Meanwhile, if employees get sales ranging from 3,001 ringgit to 5,000, then the commissions earned are 10% of the total sales. If the employees get sales of 5,000 and above, then the commissions earned are 15% of the total sales. Therefore, users can only enter the number of sales following the range that has been set only into the text field box that has been provided. Finally, total earnings will be obtained from the total basic salary and also the total of commissions. Apart from total earnings, the amount of deduction is also an aspect to find out the total net salary of employees. There are several aspects in this deduction, such as the employee's type, which is related to the EPF deduction. EPF deduction is also calculated based on the basic salary of each employee. In addition, there is also a medical plan type, so users need to fill in all this data. There are 3 categories for this type of employees, namely massage therapy, facialists, and manicurists. All of these categories relate to the EPF deductions that will be charged. There are different percentage deduction for each category, where the percentage is also based on the basic salary of the employee. If the employee is a massage therapist, then the EPF deduction that will be charged is 12% of the basic salary. A facialist will be charged 10% of the basic salary, and manicurist will be charged of deduction of 8%. Thus, users can only select one category from 3 categories by simply clicking one of buttons provided. The SPA also offers 3 types of medical plan types to the employees, namely types A, B, and C. All of these types have different deductions. Users can only select one of type by clicking on the button provided according to the types of medical plan used by the employee. If the employee use a type A medical plan, then the deduction charge is 250 ringgit. Type B medical plan is 150 ringgit and type C will be charged deduction of 100 ringgit. After all the requested data has been entered by the user, the next step is user needs to press the Save and Done button. This is so that the users can move to the next page to the display payroll slip. Next step is users just simply click on the display payroll button. On the display payroll page, all the data will be listed starting from the name, ID and type of worker as well as the basic salary. In addition, the total earnings will also be displayed where it consists of the number of hours worked and hourly rate, also the total of commissions. The total deduction consisting of EPF deduction and medical plan type will also be displayed. As a result, the net salary is calculated based on the total earnings and the total of deduction. This page of search aims to display all the details of the employee. Users need to click the search button. On this page also, users can input the employee ID. After all employee data has been entered on the Add Employee page, then the data will be displayed in the search sections regularly based on the name and ID of the employee. This page aims for users to edit the data they want to enter, such as data of hours worked, total sales and the medical plan types. Users just need to click on the edit button, then input or edit the data provided, such as the hours worked, total sales and medical plan type based on what the users want, and users also need to click on the save button. Then it will prompt for appropriate data. The last page, which is list page, aims to show every employee who exceed the total amount of sales entered. The system will list all employees who have reached more than 5,000 in their total sales. And finally, the list page will list employee data based on the employee name, employee ID, employee type, and also the net salary.
Finally, we have reached the conclusion of our project. This application aims to make it easier to see the calculation of employee salaries due to a large number of employees. This application is formed using a GUI and there are several pages in it. This first page is Add Employee, which aims to enter information about the employee. The second page is the Payroll Display, which aims to show the employee's salary calculation up to the total net salary earned. The third page is a search, where it is useful to find employee information by ID and display the name and ID of the employee. The fourth page is an edit, which aims for the user to edit some information such as hours worked, medical plan type, and total sales. The last page is the list, where on this page the application will display a list of employees who achieved the total sales of 5,000 and above, and the list will be displayed based on name, ID, employee type, and net salary earned. All in all, this application makes it easier to see the employee's salary with detailed calculation through total earnings, total deduction, and finally knowing the net salary. That is all from us. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much.